Assalamu alaikum guys, I hope you're fine. Alhamdulillah, my side I'm fine. So today we are trying not to look gloomy in any way, even though we know the situation that is happening in Palestine. We know that it has been going on for 73 years, that is from 1948 to 2021. So if we have somebody who is 73 years in Palestine, then it means their whole lives until now they have witnessed nothing but violence, and they are longing for that freedom. And perhaps they didn't get it in the past because in the past we only had mainstream media that was able to tell us what was happening there. But right now, alhamdulillah, we have our phones, and alhamdulillah, it is a ni'mah that even our brothers and sisters in Palestine are actually using these gadgets to tell us their story, to tell us what is really happening, to tell us that whatever we have been told in the past was actually not the truth, and whatever they are showing us right now is the raw truth. So what can we do as young people to help our brothers and sisters in Palestine? So today I would like us to talk about how we can use hashtags to actually help our brothers and sisters in Palestine. So what is that number one important thing to know about hashtags according to how they have been used over the years? So according to research on ResearchGate, it says that hashtags stir important conversations, and they also turn these conversations into meaningful movements, and these meaningful movements make massive change in our society. Let's look at the Black Lives Matter hashtag. So it just started as a love letter, that a Black American woman wrote to other African Americans on Facebook. And in the lines of the letter, there was this word, Black Lives Matter. And a person replied to her post by saying hashtag Black Lives Matter. So everyone started using the hashtag Black Lives Matter. And I want us to look at how this simple use of hashtags invited like-minded people who are also feeling like, you know what, I think we as African Americans are actually facing a lot of police brutality, because the initial reason as to why the lady wrote the love letter to the African Americans is because there was a 14-year-old boy that was brutally murdered by the police. So she wanted to get the message out there, and people were responding. So this hashtag created a channel for like-minded people to talk about whatever was happening. And when we look at this hashtag Black Lives Matter, it gives you a strong message of what was happening on the ground. Black Lives Matter went from something that was just being advocated by the African Americans to something that fellow Americans that were not Africans joined in hands to protest for the rights of the African Americans. Another thing we want to point out is that the Black Lives Matter hashtag started as a conversation between civilians, but then it went to a point where the leaders of the United States of America were forced to talk about it, to declare that everyone is just the same, everyone matters. So we can see that hashtags have the power for us to reach out to our leaders. If the letters we write to them are not answered, if the calls we make are not answered, then using hashtags, creating a platform where people will see that we really mean seriousness about this issue, can make us push our leaders to do the right thing. I mean, what kind of leader would want to be embarrassed? Most of our leaders tend to create a good public representation of themselves. So when the world talks about it, they're automatically forced to speak against whatever they were silent about. So here we go, guys. Let's use those hashtags on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Actually, Instagram allows you to use as many as 30 hashtags. On Twitter, you can use 2, but pick the strongest hashtags. And most of the trendy hashtags I have seen is Free Palestine, Save Sheikh Jarrah, Hands Off Al-Aqsa. You can just search about the matter and see what popular hashtags are being used to talk against the injustice that is happening. Another power of the hashtag is that it can make the most feared people or the most respected people to go down on their knees if they are wrong, to face justice and to pay for the crimes that they are committing in the society. So when we look at one of the hashtags that was very successful is the Me Too hashtag. And Me Too hashtag was all about women talking about sexual harassment that they have faced in their lives. So it was actually a movement where women were encouraging each other to share their stories of sexual harassment with a hashtag Me Too. So what this did is that it made a lot of women speak up, share their story, so that they don't feel like they are they are blocked from talking about their story. Women felt safe about this. Women came forward and shared the indecencies that were done to them, and this resulted to around 400 well-known men in the United States to actually face justice, to actually pay for their crimes, to actually go behind bars. So we can see that the power of hashtags can actually bring a lot of change in our society. We have seen in our own country how hashtags has actually made politicians stay responsible for their actions. Just by us talking about it, just by us tweeting, retweeting, hashtagging, we have seen our politicians acting responsibly, because they know that we are watching, they know that the world is watching, and if they are not careful, then they are going to have to pay for their consequences. So guys, that is all for today. Remember, hashtagging is really important, and I have seen that most of us, when we see posts about Palestine, and there is a dua, we just say Amen and that's all. No, we need to make these matters trend. You know, the more a hashtag is used, the more it becomes popular. So when somebody searches anything related to Palestine, they find it there. And even when somebody is not interested about the issue that is happening in Palestine, as long as the hashtag is popular, they will definitely find it popping up on their social media pages. So this is how actually the truth reaches the leaders. This is how leaders take action, because massive number of people are actually talking about this issue, and this shows that, hey, here we need attention, we need your help, we need you to do something, rather than just keeping quiet about it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I ask Allah to make us activists for our brothers and sisters facing injustice all over the world. I ask Allah to free Palestine. I ask Allah to protect the Masjid Al-Aqsa. I ask Allah to protect the protectors of Masjid Al-Aqsa. Let's keep on educating ourselves on this matter so that we can do everything we do passionately. Thank you so much for watching, and ma'asalam.